Let me get some extra light in here.
Sick. Bam, let's do it. Good evening. It is 8 p.m. We are 13 hours post when I usually go live. Whoa. I have a background somewhere. Oh, there it is. I don't think I've ever had this many comments before a show started.
Yeah, I was gonna say I didn't even know you could do this early in advance.
Yeah, you can comment before. But it's all Avera, so it doesn't really count. John's on his way. If he can figure it out. He knows how to use StreamYard. Good evening. Good evening. What's going on, everyone? I hear someone's getting heated. Who's getting heated? Clydesdale. Let's see.
Pull it up.
What are they talking about? Who are they talking about?
Yeah, that's one thing I haven't done is like keep up with all the pretty like hard non-WFPers and their commentating over the weekend.
Well, they're talking. Everyone should roll on over here. All 17 of you. Good evening, everyone. Everyone who commented early, everyone who's here now. Hello. WTF, or is it WFP? WPF. What is it? World Fitness Project. WFP.
The logo, I like the logo. It's a little.
I think the logo's fire. I think the logo's really good.
Yeah.
I think
the F really is hard to see, but
yeah. I think the name is very interesting, right? Because they like it started as this charity thing, right? And it clearly isn't, but they didn't change the name.
Right.
Which is so interesting to me that they didn't change it, right? Like it is a good name in general. What's up, Katie? Katie Burris is one of my athletes. She's an adaptive athlete. She just took first in all of her adaptive games qualifying events. And she's here because she's deaf and she wants to try to read my lips while we talk live for the show. All right. We're waiting on John. But we'll dig into it. So we're going to pull up some comments and just generally talk about it. So we have two topics to go over tonight. And the first one is about the sport itself in competing, right? Competition or exhibition. And then the second one is sustainable or not. And I guess the third one is probably like, is it good for CrossFit or not? And that maybe that's like at the end. And so, yeah, let's dig right into it. So Nelson, you watched, yes?
Yeah.
Cool. What'd you think about it?
I mean, overall, like I thought it was really highly like well produced. I know everyone's talking about the jerk event with like the spotlight and all that stuff. I think that with as much like intentional stuff that they had going into the production, I thought that they had a lot more intention going into the actual live event. I wasn't there for the live event, obviously, but from everything that I was hearing, it made it seem like the venue with how it was structured, how the athletes were situated. It was really, really well ran on that aspect. From a programming standpoint, I thought the events were pretty cool. If I have a gripe, it's that the first workout was just basically who's the best runner. Like the other movements you basically didn't even need to do. Like they weren't.
I disagree because, well, on that and specifically because it just was tailored on, it ended up being that way because someone decided to touch and go and then everyone else was like, I can touch and go too. Right. Because I don't think any of the girls even touch and go, right? I mean, like Laura failed a rep.
Most of the challenger division didn't either. Which also, speaking on that, I think was also really, really cool. I think it was really cool seeing like some pretty high level people too, like, you know, people coming up in the sport and a lot of people like that I also know from competing on kind of that like regional level circuit. What's up, John?
What up, guys?
You know, get after it and have some fun with some of those workouts. So, I mean, I think the challenger division was really cool to see that. And, you know, they gave, I feel like just as much attention in terms of the production value of it to that. So that was cool to see.
I like it. Yeah, I think my initial knee jerk is, I mean, a lot of money can make a lot of things happen, and it fucking did, right? From what I heard from behind the scenes, the athlete experience was, I mean, one of a kind, right? The production was really good. The broadcast was well done. The stream was good. You know, like we'll get into not being on YouTube and the playback and shit, but you know, that was their choice. That was a very specific and intentional choice, which I kind of have an opinion on as well. And we'll get there. But I think my initial is that, I mean, it looked great on all accounts. You know, I thought the workouts were good. You know, I thought the competition was good, or the exhibition was good, however you want to view it. And we'll dig into that too. But I think initially my knee jerk is it was great. You know, like, I don't know. Let's see, out of 10, like an 8.2. You know, that was really good. Right. You know, John, how's baby?
She's doing great. No. She's fine. She's talking right now.
Oh, those are talks. Those are coos and talks.
Yeah, no, she's singing.
I love it.
Leslie's got American Idol on right now, so she's just singing.
She's joining along.
I promise she's doing fine. She's loud like that sometimes.
John, what was your initial thoughts?
It's a great weekend for the mountain.
Yeah.
Oh my God! Shut up! Don't fucking come in here and suck John's dick,
dude. We'll get to that in a minute. I thought. I mean, obviously, the competition was great. I thought the competition was great. I don't think you can say anything bad about the competition. I think the programming was pretty well rounded. It's not like the greatest programming of all time, but good enough to make a good competition. Like I have no complaints about the programming. I thought the judging was fine. There are a couple sketchy reps that people got given, but there were also like no reps given out. It wasn't like everybody could just do what they wanted. Wadland Fest, there were just basically no judges. You should have just had no judges there, right? So the actual competition, I have no complaints, and I think it was a great competition. Yes, some people are just there to collect a paycheck, but I do think that the top like 8 guys and girls are all trying to win.
Yeah,
for sure. You know, they're not trying to win, especially the people who already have their games ticket, right? I don't think she was giving up.
Dumbbell, right?
I don't think she gave up. I think she tried to go unbroken and couldn't do it, and then failed again. And like, I don't think we see Laura at that type of like blown up failure very often, other than a handstand push-up. So it was surprising. But in your shoulders, if you fail, you go to shoulder failure. It's like, which she does in handstand push-ups all the time. You can't just pick the dumbbells up and lunge 40 feet again. Like it's really hard to do. Jeff Adler did the exact same thing. And that guy's got great shoulders. So, I mean, I don't think she gave up. I think she was just blown up. Honestly, I had a bit of a grin on my face the entire time when I saw that. Laura's very anti-CrossFit, so it was kind of like a little bit felt good. So now, Annika,
I just felt that was so shitty.
What did she get a no rep on?
They said she dropped it behind her head.
Yeah.
Oh, you have to come down.
I think that you had to bring it down and forward.
Yeah.
That's just dumb on her part.
Then. Yeah, it was.
I feel bad for her. Not the first time she's done something like that. So it's crazy.
And it's ticky tack, but like, you know, anytime it's a barbell,
it's a rule.
It's a rule. Yeah, it's a rule.
But I mean, this is a interesting type of thing too with WFP, like deciding what rules they like want to adapt from CrossFit, what rules they don't. I know there's a big hiccup in all the qualifiers with
this is the one that I wanted to go to real quick. I just felt like she was fine and she just put it down. Like, what was that? She could have made the step. That was the only one that I was referring to. Like, she for sure gave up. This is one that Renata was
I mean, she's got 30 seconds to the cap. I think she knew she for sure wasn't going to get all the way over to the next one and was like, I don't care. 100% could have done that step. But like,
for sure. Right?
I think she was just like, I'm done with this. Like,
yeah, definitely.
Also, blatantly obvious, Laura and Vellner training for the games are different people than Laura and Vellner not training for the games. What's hilarious is the people who were so like for WFP, and we can talk about this if we want to, because I'm in a weird place with it. Like if the people who were so set on making sides on the WFP side, all those people sucked. Like the people who are like pro CrossFit and then like, but we're also doing this. Those were the people that succeeded the most. Right. And the people who were so WFP and like, I'm not doing that. Like, no, this is the way better. This is going to replace the CrossFit Games. Like, those people sucked.
For sure.
And it's because the reason why, because it's not the CrossFit Games. And the CrossFit Games will always be the Super Bowl of fitness. And I think if we can all just agree on that, we can move forward and have fun. And I'm talking about everybody. And I know I might be in the minority in my camp on this. But if the WFP can accept that the CrossFit Games is a Super Bowl of fitness and they quit trying to step on their toes, then we could all just have fun with everything. You know what I mean? And I'm talking like the CrossFit people who are pro CrossFit can embrace WFP for what it is, and WFP can embrace CrossFit for what it is, because all it really is just another CrossFit competition. It's a CrossFit competition. But when you hire people who are anti-CrossFit, right, correct, Ortega. But
do they? I don't think they do.
Oh, they do. You don't hire Tommy Marquez to be your commentator then, dude. These people have openly outspoken against CrossFit. Everybody they've hired is anti-CrossFit.
Mm-hmm.
Annie and Katrin are out. Brian Friend said he wouldn't do another CrossFit competition, even though he lied to everybody. Now he's still doing CrossFit competition. Tommy and Talking Elite Fitness has said they're not. That's the only outside one, Kip. Tommy's been anti-CrossFit. All of these people are anti the CrossFit Games for whatever reason. They hired them all. You know what I mean? Like everything they've done that's outside of the competition has been really, really bad, in my opinion.
That was funny.
But the competition itself was great.
It was.
So what I'm saying is, if we could all just stop trying to measure our dicks and like just accept that the CrossFit Games is the Super Bowl of fitness, then everybody can love everybody.
Yep. I think immediately it's really evident that 20 is way too many pro cards. It should be 10. And I think that would make the competition, mainly because basically 15 people are going to make it and the other 15 coming in aren't going to make it, because there's going to be 4 or 5 that don't qualify again. And just to kind of put it on the point, because there's going to be, shut up, I'm going to finish.
I haven't started talking.
You were raising your hand.
We'll just say in a minute. I'll call you your hand in a minute. I was respecting you with this, and then you were a dick about it.
And so I think they're going to see that this is going to be the way that it is, because Vellner coming in looking terrible, and same with Laura and some of the other people that were low. They could potentially get another year of a pro card and then still be bottom barrel, right? And just ink their way in, because they're going to get no worse than, like their mid-tier 20th points, and then they could still potentially make it in. And so this is like, I think 20 is too many, because of exactly what we just said, that like some people are going to be this like anti, and they're clearly not going to train hard. Like they're going to clearly treat this as an exhibition and a payday instead of being the fittest on earth or whatever it is, right? Like being fit in general and winning at fitness racing.
So, right. And I think they should. I think it's like you can take the first year as a trial run, and then it's on them. And I think they should. And I would love to have talks with them, or like even not me, but like other people that are just critiquing everything to make it better. For instance, I think there should be 15 pro cards, and then the top 5 in the challenger get pro cards next year. That way the challenger is worth something.
Yeah,
right?
Right now, like, you get last, and like you
get more points.
Yeah, which that I'm not a huge fan of.
And what I'm saying, it makes the challenger, like make the pro division shorter, so like 20 people, right? Bottom 5 do not have a pro card next year. And then the top 5 from the challenger replace those bottom 5. And then the top 15, you automatically get it for next year.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Like you don't even have a qualifier. The qualifier is for the challenger. So then you make the challenger more elite. The top 15, you make the pro cards extend to 15 because I think it's 10 and they do a qualifier for the next 10. And then 10 after that is the challenger, correct? So like I'm talking top 15, you get pro cards next year by the end of it. Okay. The bottom 5, because we went down to 20 people. It's not 30 people, 20 people. The bottom 5, you lose your pro card. The top 5 of the challenger, you replace those bottom 5.
Yeah, like a relegation.
Correct. And then even if you're fitter, right? Even if you're fitter, for instance, like if Vellner loses his pro card to Ty Jenkins, believe it or not, I'll still take Patrick Vellner on a 1v1 with Ty Jenkins. No offense to Ty.
Yeah.
But you have not earned that pro card by sucking as bad as you sucked. Therefore, Ty, and it gives the challengers more to work, more to it makes that competition more exciting.
Yeah, and then just make it the
right
same.
Now is stupid.
Right, and then just make it the same workouts. Don't give them the less weight.
The same weights
to pretend
weights, all this. So like, there's a bunch of like little things,
right,
that are just bad, and I think it could all work better to make everything more likable. There's a couple other things, but I'll let CJ kind of guide it.
So, yeah, I think generally we're on the same spot. Okay, so we sort of started hitting on this, and exhibition versus competition. It kind of seems like it was 50-50, right? Like it was a competition for about half, and then it was an exhibition for like the other half. And so as we came into the weekend, a lot of people, John, said it was going to be an expedition. There was going to be no weight involved. And then Colton, the guy who has never done an exhibition style competition in his life, didn't win. He didn't do that well. And so it's hard to say, and I don't think anyone is questioning this either at this point, that the other athletes were just going with the flow and then they just happened to smash Colton, right? I definitely think it was a competition at the top, and a really impressive one, a fun one to watch, and something that is valuable to like the mountain or like season predictions and things like that as well. And it was good. I was pleasantly surprised with the level of intensity that came out.
Me too.
Even with the amount of people that have competed for like 4 straight weeks, there's a lot of money on the line.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, 30 grand, you know, like, I mean, podium 30, 25, 20, that's a lot of money.
Which
right?
I think is interesting.
Made a big deal.
Like, I think that the idea of it being a competition versus exhibition, like, I mean, like, that's way disproportionate to like the podium distribution at the games, right? Like, I mean, you know, like second place doesn't sound all that bad when it's only $5 grand less. I'm not saying that, you know,
for sure.
Right.
Really first, second, and third. But yeah, I mean, I think it's something to where it's also really easy. Like, it's been one event, and like it's been 6 events within the weekend, or within, you know, Thursday to Sunday. So I feel like it's gonna take some time to feel out like exactly how these athletes will be approaching everything, obviously, and how it coincides with the season. I feel like I've heard rumors. Have they announced really what their plan is in terms of total events for the following year? Is it 6 or 4? Okay.
I think 6 was like an early comment.
Yeah.
And then I think when they were on Coffee Pods and Wads, he said 1 a quarter.
Now, and I don't think they have to do them all either, right? And like you have to do 3, and we're taking your top 3.
Oh, I have no idea. I mean, I know Haley wasn't there.
Points, right? Yeah, like if you want to.
I mean, I think it's just based on points. So if you won 2, there's almost no way you don't make it to the final.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So, but I mean, there will be some pro card athletes that don't make it to the final, that have a card and don't get like, or do they automatically go? Even though
like last place is more points than the top challenger.
Yeah, but the top challenger can win 2 events
because it's a different qualifier each time.
Oh, that's a good point.
I just think it's really sloppy.
It's just all over the place, right? It's clear that it was put together. Okay, so exhibition or competition, Wilson, which one? What'd you think?
I'd say competition. I'd still say competition.
John?
Yeah, I mean, I'm in your camp. I think half of them was taking it like an exhibition. Half of them were taking it like a competition. Vellner even put a post out playing like I was really unprepared and to an embarrassing extent. He said that, and I think it's okay that it was like that too. Because I think if you want to take it as an exhibition, then you're going to get embarrassed by the people who aren't, because nobody is fit enough where they can just walk in and beat everybody right now. There is no Fraser who can not like take it serious and still beat everybody. Everybody there's 5 guys who just depending on the 2 guys a little bit better than the other 3, but there's 5 guys depending on the programming are all with it together.
I think so. The chat is like, doesn't think anyone half-assed it. How can you tell? I mean, I think when you look at people,
if you look at the point distribution, there's a clear tier drop.
Yeah.
And so if we go to the point distribution, 10th place was 343. 8th place was 406. That's a 60-point gap. And then Colton kind of middles it. And then after that, 11th place is 319. So 3 places apart is basically 100 points. That shows you who's trying and who's not.
I think also something to think about too. Can we pull up the just actual events? I mean, outside of the first one's super, super long. You throw a max lift in there, that's always going to skew things a certain direction. You then pair it with a super short power output sprint. That's going to skew things further. The yoke one was super short, and then the last one's super short. Not saying like these guys and girls shouldn't be absolutely prepared for that. But I mean, those are all like time domains of workouts where like, if you mess up, like you will pay for it dearly, as opposed to like the first one where like, you can throttle back or throttle up a little bit more. So I mean, just something to where in terms of that point distribution, I feel like when all the workouts are like that, as opposed to the games where you have like all the different domains being tested, like the fittest comes out on top. I'm not saying that that's not happening here, but I feel like it's just something to take into consideration when you see like those big splits in points.
Yeah.
But and I'll push back on that and say you get that with any competition that's only 6 events.
Very fair.
Right?
Yeah.
Right. Like
not doing, these big, unique events, swimming, running, biking, all that kind of stuff.
So if someone comes unprepared, i.e. not training, it is the same as not. That's how you mail it in CrossFit.
You didn't try in preparation.
Right.
Yeah.
It's the same.
Yeah,
that is the same thing.
Like if Batman never looked up what Superman's weakness was, he's dying.
Yeah.
What an analogy. Nice. That's a good one. Okay. Let's dig into the leaderboard a little bit on both sides.
So I do want to say, I do want to bring this up. We can talk about it now if that's okay with you, CJ.
I'm ready.
Tell me if I'm wrong.
You're wrong. Preemptively.
And we don't talk about it after this, but I don't think there has been a more accurate distinction of where the athletes would place in a competition ever.
Do you
for the women
pleasure
and
yourself
for the women and the men? No, here's the thing. I've never been. Including me. I've never been this accurate as it was this time around, and it's really nice. That's all I wanted to say.
It was good for sure. It was, and
I think it's fair to say that, like, athletes that have had a lot more reps in competitions outside of WFP, just in general, will typically do better. I mean, like, if you look at Kringle, like even like I think with where like Lucy plays, like, yeah, I mean, you get a lot of reps in competing, like that translates really, really well. And like I think for like Adler and Laura, like there's a little bit of rust to knock off. I'd be really curious to see. I mean, obviously Laura and Jeff's situations are different, but like where they end up, like in Phoenix, just with like, and then like if there are competitions between now and then that we do see them in, I'm not sure if there are like that would attract them, but just because I mean I think those reps matter.
So it was close. It's not as good as everyone says it was in the sphere, but it was pretty good for sure. On the guy's side, definitely. Right.
Yeah, but here's the thing. I said, here you gotta listen to the show, man. You obviously didn't listen to it.
I listened to the
I
show.
said I wanted to put Alex. I don't want to drop Alex Kazan. I think she's the best one. But since she's not
She hasn't proved it, and
she's
now
not
she did.
doing in affiliate semis, and I've docked people for that. I've docked people for not competing. She's not doing anything until NorCal, and I'm going to stay consistent. And I'm dropping her a row, even though I think she's in the running to podium or two in the games out of the four with the four girls that I had ahead of her. And then like I prefaced it with that. And then I think Spin just hates Alex Kazan because he
to be fair,
back really, really hard.
I mean, he does. And to be fair, she's been pretty underwhelming for 18 months.
She hasn't done anything.
I know.
Yeah, no, but which is why she dropped, right?
Yeah, for sure. So all right. So let's go to the guys. What's the biggest surprise of the weekend?
Honestly, dude.
I mean, I think
I might say Colton.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would expect Roman to do better. I would expect Colton to do better. I think Roman and Ricky are on the down slope. I think they're still.
Ricky seems like he's on the down for sure.
I think they're still.
Roman also has just done so many competitions recently, which I mean is a good and a bad thing.
But I'm just saying from like they were 2 and 3 or 1 and 2. They were podium guys, right? Them, Vellner, and Justin, right? Where that's your guys, like in 2021, 2022. I just think that both of those two are on the downside of their peak. And I still think they're both top 10. I think they could be top 5, but I think I would not expect them to podium. And I would be surprised if they did. I'm not saying is that a possibility, but I would be surprised if they did. I expected Colton to do better. The programming wasn't great for Colton. As fit as Colton has gotten, especially anatomically, where it doesn't matter, like he's still fit enough to do whatever. It doesn't matter, right? Like machines wise, he's not going to get crushed in anything. It cannot overcome the programming. And if the programming is good for him, he could be top 3 in this field. If the programming is not good for him, he can be top 10. Like this is what he is in a competition where there's not multiple home runs for him. If you make one of these 10th places first place, and that's 40 more points, he's up a whole bunch more spots, right?
Right.
And at Mayhem, there were 3 of them, which is why he was top 2. So he's really dependent on the programming.
I was thinking about that with Jeff, because Jeff got 20th in the last event.
So, but here's the thing: Jeff is still the second. Jeff is the second fittest guy there, and any given competition, he could be the first fittest guy there. Jeff had a 10-point lead on Austin. There were Sprague, Dallin, and Hopper were all in between them on the lunge home, right? Yeah. They were, and he knew that, and he knows I'm losing to Austin if this just stays as it is. He took a risk to try to beat one of those guys and tried to go unbroken in the lunge, blew up really badly trying to do that. He couldn't do it and had to go back, and then he gets to 20th place. If Jeff just runs his race, he's second place easily. So it looks a little skewed with the actual placement here, but he blew up trying to win because he knew Austin was going to win if it just stayed face. He is the second best one here, even though he placed 4th. And then James, honestly, is an easy 3rd. It would have been very close between James and Jeff, but Jeff probably would have still been ahead.
Yep. I'm going to push back. I know we're kind of dropping back here, but I'm going to push back on Roman because Roman only had 1 bad placing. He only had 1 finish outside the top 10.
Which is even worse for him because if he only had 1 bad finish and he's 8th place, what happens if he has multiple? You're right. Roman's worse.
He only had 1. But it was really bad.
I'm saying he's 8th place.
But it was really bad. And I think the amount of people prevented that. He had a 8th, 9th, 4th, 2nd, 8th. I mean, that's a pretty good string.
What event did he get last in?
The GHD handstand walk.
Do you think competitions aren't going to test GHD and handstand walk?
I'm not. I'm just saying that I don't think.
Yeah.
I don't think Roman is on the down. I disagree. I agree with Ricky, for sure. I do. I think Ricky. I don't know. He just seems burnt. Like he just seems like he's flat. Like he just is coming in. He seems like he trains really hard, and then he just is. But I don't think
let's look at Hopper's ranking. Then.
What did Ricky finish for in affiliate semis though?
He was like 10th. He was like eighth.
No, but it came in through that redo, right? Because the overhead lunge.
Yeah, no, he was not going to make it.
He wasn't going to make it.
The double overhead lunge is a really hard movement for him.
What did you say?
What did this end on?
That's a good point. Yeah.
I'm just let's see what Hopper's placements are.
4th, 10th, 12th, 8th, 3rd, 9th. So I mean, they're really close. He just doesn't have a fall off.
Okay, so but what you're saying with Roman, Hopper basically did the same thing and was 44 points ahead of him.
Right. And
they're always going to test GHGs and handstand walking combination will always be tested. You know what else is going to be tested? Ring muscle ups in a high volume capacity. I know what you're saying, but Roman was second best in the world. Okay. No, it wasn't a high capacity. There were 6 of them.
Yeah, that's
I'm saying.
But yeah, I agree.
You went a huge break in the middle, man.
Yeah,
I'm talking. But what I'm saying, you're like, I don't think he's dropped off. He was super consistent. You sure he's got 8th, 9th, 3rd, 4th. Those used to be 5th, 3rd, 1st. That's what they used to be. And I'm saying in 2023, Roman probably should have won the games had he not broken his foot.
It's not even probably. He would have won the game.
What I'm saying is, I don't think he executed poorly, and he's in 8th place. Like, I think that if you want to say I don't think Roman's on the downs, I'll say everybody else has gotten better.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. I mean, relative to 2023, I won't disagree with that. But I think Roman is still in the hunt has to be in the conversation as a potential top 5 athlete.
I don't disagree. I don't disagree.
Okay. All right. Let's go to anyone else down. Annual Akai, not gonna lie, I'm really sad.
He's just here for he
well, I don't think see, that's the thing. I don't think he is. I think he isn't here for the bag. I think he was just on a high to finish the Wadapalooza SoCal and like just hasn't kept up.
You think he's overhyped?
Unfortunately, I like Annual Akai. Like I love the interview. I want him to be better, and he was really disappointing at Wadlands.
Go to the overall ranking.
Disappointing here, huh?
Go to the overall ranking so we can see who's with him.
Oh, sorry.
Because I think it'll surprise you. I think this is just what he is. So look, he's one spot behind Yonakoski. Where was he at Wadland? Probably one spot behind Yonakoski. I don't know off the top of my head. Patrick Vellner, washed up Patrick Vellner's 2 spots below him. Colin Boschard is right behind him. Luka Dukic is right in that category. Yeah. That's where he is, man. That's what he is.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it just makes me sad. I was rooting for.
I don't think he's gotten worse. I think that's what he is. I don't think he's overhyped.
I guess after like beating Justin head to head, I was like, all right, it's
a clean bar.
I know.
I would beat Justin in that head to head. Like you're not going to overhype me about this, are you?
You were not going to beat Justin in anything.
Oh, dude, I'm power cleaning everything.
I think it's cool seeing Noah getting 10th. I think that's
that's a great point. Noah getting 10th is probably the most surprising thing in the guys' field.
Yeah, it's wild.
And what's surprising is he didn't do well in the first one. And like, I would think that with all the running he's been doing that he'd smack the first one and he's good at those other movements. That kind of surprised me,
and then he's super consistent after.
Yeah.
I mean, it was surprising, but I mean, if we kind of like going back to John's point earlier of like this huge gap, 8th to 10th was 63 points. I mean, that's bonkers.
Yeah,
that's huge. And then it's just like a whole nother competition below, right? And then I mean, it was good. All right, let's go to women. All right, I'll be honest. I think the most surprising for sure is Laura getting 9th, even though it was a blow up she started off rough.
I disagree.
You disagree?
Mm-hmm.
That's just to me. I figured she would just be in maybe a little bit better of shape, but I don't know.
Okay, but she was in third place going into the last event.
Yeah. I know she
and then she blew up, and then she blew up, and then just stopped and didn't care anymore. Right. But I'm saying if you're third place and she was in the running to get like fifth in that event, she finishes fourth place in the competition. And I think if she finishes fourth place, you'd been like, well, she's not the Laura from the games, but at least she wasn't Vellner.
Right.
Like that's what you'd be saying. Like it's the last event. You have to put the last event into context of what this leaderboard looks like.
Right.
Amy Kringle, I think we should start respecting more. And I'm speaking to myself.
Where's she on the mountain?
I think she's on the bottom row. But I always just don't think very highly of Amy Kringle because I just feel like she's a really good runner. And she's just there because she's so good at endurance, and there's not any other girls better because the top of the spear to like the first like 9 girls and then everybody else, there's this huge fitness gap, and she's just fit enough that she can make it, kind of like Danny Spiegel, but in reverse.
Yeah.
And
how big is
she's good. She's bigger. She's not she's not a big old girl, but she's not a little girl either.
Right. But I'm so surprised at her aerobic capacity. I think it's the Isle of Man thing, right? Like that's just like what is there, right? Like they're just all generally fit.
They just run everywhere they go.
They're just run and bike everywhere, right? That's like what they do. I
think Amy Kringle should get talked about more.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, 2 events outside of the top and two bad ones, right? Daniel Brandon, I mean, a second in this field.
Great.
On it.
Yeah.
And
honestly,
like
she does really well in those like stages. I mean, she always does she's done really well in like semifinals leading up to the games. And obviously has her events at the games that she does really, really well in. But I mean, I feel like she gets overlooked like a lot, but is always like really consistently within the top 5 to 7, I'd say.
Yeah.
I think semifinal like competitions are perfect for Danielle because it's just not long enough to have a freak out moment. And the second that happens, she drops 4 places, right? Automatic like that. And the games is 12 to 15 events where something's bound to go wrong at some point, and how you handle those things matters. And she's not great at handling those moments. But I know, but she murdered. She did great.
What about Fee in 11th? Do we think that mayhem maybe was a blessing in disguise for her as far as like programming or however it was, or no?
No, dude. I think there's 10 of the 12 fittest women in the world at this competition, and this is what she is in that type of field. Who at the Mayhem Classic would any of these girls like not be up front if they did it too?
Yeah, all right. I was just asking. I'm just bringing up topics.
Like none of these girls were there. What are we talking about? Like none of them.
So, all right, let's talk about Alex. Alex dominates and wins by 50 points. Right.
It didn't seem dominating.
It didn't. I 100% was like, I just all of a sudden it was the last day and she was in first, and I was like, oh.
And then the next 2 events are a legless rope climb and some heavy thrusters with rowing,
which she crushed. The legless rope climbs are her thing, right?
Yeah. No. Yeah. She's her.
I think it's push and pull too. Like. I'm pretty sure I've seen her like was she benched like 270 or something like that.
Yeah, no, she dude, she deadlifts 425. Alex Gazan has the most home run potential out of any other girl in the entire field. And I even put Laura Horvath in that because if it's just a max squat, she's top 2 in the world. If it's a max deadlift, she's top 2 in the world. Max bench, nobody's touching her. Legless rope climbs, top 2 in the world. pegboard, anything like a pegboard, top 2 in the world. If it's ability based, there's nobody better than Alex Kazan. But if it's fitness based, there's a lot of people better than Alex Kazan. For instance, the 2024 CrossFit Games, all fitness, all aerobic capacity. Like, no, just can you do this, right? None of it. And she's on down there. So it, like, for her, she's very programming based, kind of a little like Colton, but in a normal body, right? And if it's hard enough, or can you do this enough, dude, nobody's touching her at all. Like, she'll do this every single time. If the events are hard enough, she'll do that every single time. If it's 50-pound or 35-pound dumbbell snatches, bar muscle ups, and 400-meter runs, 23rd place.
So looking at the mountain, is it still accurate with Raptus, specifically this row right here?
I think if you replace Alex with Alexis Raptus, which I couldn't for principal reasons, because Alex hasn't competed, and I said I would dock people if they weren't going to compete, then it's a perfect mountain.
You still think Colton stays here? Think it was just a bad weekend, a bad slew of events?
Yeah, I mean, he had one event that was good for him, and he got a no rep. He got a no rep on it. I don't think people realize this. He got no rep on that lunge. Had to go back, and then still won. I think without that no rep, we're talking like, what is the P score on that event? Because he would have beaten everybody by a minute in a 5-minute workout.
Oh, he still won. Oh, he still won. Oh, I didn't realize that. I thought he just won his heat
by like 10 seconds too. Wasn't just barely. And I'm talking like in that, and he had to go back, rest a long time, and then still lunge. Like, the momentum is gone.
Yeah.
And then he had to like long step, which ended up being slower. I'm talking like he would have just like not just won, but destroyed. It would have been the most destroyed anybody did in any event.
Right.
But no, it's one event's good for him, and then there were a lot of events that just weren't going to be good for him.
All right. So anything from the Challenger? Anything worth talking about?
No, they're different workouts. It's.
I know.
Yeah.
I think it's dumb.
The way they have it.
Well, we know why they did it, right? They did it because they don't want people in the Challenger getting better scores across the board than the pro, and then being like, oh, the pros will get more points.
Then they should earn more. That's
exactly.
why the system should be. That's why the last 5 people should be replaced with the first 5 people. And then it's exciting. All of a sudden, you made 2 things exciting.
Event, like,
wouldn't that be? That's kind of like Premier League soccer, right? Like,
yes,
relegation.
It's exactly like
relegation thing. That'd be sick.
But it's 5 people.
Yeah.
And maybe the right number is 3 people. Maybe 17 people get pro cards, right? Like, but you can do it however you want to. I know Jack Farlow is stupid. That's it.
Double stop? Like, what does that mean?
That's it. Period. Dude, Jack Farlow's scores are stupid.
Bonkers.
Like, he gets an 18th, a 16th, and then first, fourth. Like, what are you doing, Jack?
Yeah, watching him in the first one was definitely interesting. Like, I mean, I think that's one where, like, after the second or third round, like, you can't make up ground there. Like, you know, if you're like 40 seconds back on a 600, like, that's really hard to make up.
Right.
So I feel like that was one where you had to kind of like set your pace from the get-go.
All I do is see that dude running, though. Like, he posts himself running a lot, and Emma's good at running. It's just weird for him to be that bad. And he's done this before. He's had days where he's like just the last place guy.
He did it at semifinals last year.
Correct.
He was dead last after
and then he had 3 first place.
Right. And then he almost qualified.
What was that weight related to the pros? Was it the heaviest still?
It was the heaviest one. Yeah.
I think Tommy made a comment. Was Tommy commenting live? Yeah.
Yeah.
Tommy made a comment that he thinks Guy misloaded, and I agree because he loaded 1 pound under Tola, and I think it was a weird load, like to hit the rep, like because he had already hit 405 and he already would have been there.
It's always a funny thing with Tola too, because like
Tola,
based on what it looked like, he could have put on 25 more pounds.
Yeah, no. What do you mean is Tola the real deal? Like, is he fit? Tola is just strong. That's it.
Yeah, I mean, he's been in the sport a long time, though. He's been on the team side for basically.
He's still on the team side, isn't he? Trying to go with Osmo this year?
No. I don't know, but there's a reason Tola is always on the team side. Like, he's just barely fit enough to be the strength guy on the teams,
right?
And he's still fit enough to be that guy, but teams and individual is a crazy difference in fitness.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. And he's a gymnastics gymnastics monster.
Him and Guy are similar.
Yeah, super similar for sure. Okay. So final takeaways from.
That's interesting. As much crap as we give Guy about his aerobic capacity, Tola is like a level down from that.
For sure. It's not even it's totally, yeah. Who won? But I think Tola beat Guy on workout 1 though, by like 20 seconds.
Well, I just mean in general. I mean, Guy's still Guy, man. Like, it's still Guy's gonna Guy.
Guy's gonna Guy. So what do we have next? Syndicates. TFX is next week.
TFX is next week.
Do we think?
Go ahead.
Real quick, because I haven't had you on to talk about it. Does Ariel and Olivia do TFX for the uncertainty of points being docked? I know you probably know. So just fucking give me the answer.
Wait, can we expand on what that question means, CJ?
I got you, Nelson. I got you. I'm pretty sure Olivia is going to compete at TFX, especially after seeing the events. Like, I think Olivia is going to mop TFX. I don't know for Ariel. Ariel is very close to the chest, and I think she doesn't like to make a decision until it's time, and then she'll just make it. But I don't know about Ariel. I know Olivia. I'm pretty sure that she's going to go to TFX. The reason being, Nelson, online closes at May 19th, and the penalties, if you can make it at TFX, like get your ticket at TFX, which is before May 19th, now the online would go to the next person. Right. But you're risking, if you don't do TFX, you're risking getting penalized, and Olivia's got some sketchy ring muscle up. So you're risking getting penalized and not making it in the inaffiliate semifinals.
It's such a mess, because then you don't get that opportunity if you're doing syndicate. You have to wait until
you don't get the opportunity if you're doing syndicate. So syndicate ends up losing a lot of people because you're either in or you're not in.
Yeah. And I think syndicate's in a better position. I know that people will leave.
I think that's how it should be.
I would rather be able to just wait and see. But to be fair, they have 5 days. They've already started approving workouts, right? Mm-hmm. That started 3 days ago at this point, 2 days ago. So,
and I don't know if y'all saw Dave's thing with Sevon the other day. They did a show.
I watched it right before.
It made me feel like Brooke is out.
Oh yeah, it was weird. He said,
"He's like, it is not because of
questions." Savon asked the perfect questions. He goes, "Did you talk to Brooke? Yes. What'd you talk about? I'm not going to talk about our conversation. Did you talk to? How long did you talk? Did you talk to her? Yes. What'd you guys talk about? I'm not going to talk about our conversation. Did you talk to O'Keefe? Yes. Did you talk to her agent? Yes. Did you talk to who else did he ask? Someone. Did you talk? Oh, who was it?
Todd Mulaney, he's her handler.
Yeah, but no, he asked about another athlete and talked to her, but not her agent. And I was like, oh, that means that it was the perfect set of questions. That was it got
Danielle
further in. Yep. But I agree, it does not sound good for Brooke for sure. But she'll go to syndicate without a doubt.
I don't know if she will, man.
She's gonna fucking go to syndicate. What is she gonna do?
I know. I think she's over it.
She's not fucking over. Shut up.
Was she on the list?
I don't want her to be, but
what is her identity outside of that? Jesus. I mean, I guess she has one of the biggest followings in CrossFit. So that's
her identity is in Jesus, CJ. It's more powerful than any CrossFit competition.
Brooke Wells.
What kind of a judgment was that?
Well, she's never posted anything about religion.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know at all about her. I was just saying.
Just saying.
Okay, so all right. So we believe it was a competition. I think the competition was overall run really well. Things that I really liked were I like the flow. I like the on screen. The rep.
Yeah.
I loved counting down. I love that. That was so
Yeah.
simple.
A very small thing for me would just be like the formatting of it. Like it's sometimes hard to see like at the top of the.
Oh yeah, because it was kind of like it kind of blended.
Yeah. I
For
mean,
sure.
I do like counting.
But I loved counting down. That was so simple, and I never crossed my mind of like the counter to just count down, because now you don't have to be like, oh, they're going to 237 reps. You're like, why? Why is it 237? So I liked counting down. I liked the on screen. It seemed that flowed really, really well. Obviously, their own stream. Oh, I wanted to talk about this. So the stream thing, right? They didn't go on YouTube. They said it was because they wanted to have closed caption in whatever 7 different languages.
Did you check that out?
Yeah, I turned on Arabic and I was like, oh, that's pretty neat. So
I don't care. It's one of the biggest mistakes they've made.
For sure. But I don't think it was a mistake. I think it was done on purpose, and this is why.
I think it was to drive traffic.
It was to have the opportunity to flood their numbers and potentially lie about traffic, in my opinion, because now no one knows how many people were watching at all. No one has any idea.
Oh, and lie about their numbers.
Not lie. I mean, but you can like fluff numbers with impressions and like clicks on the page, because like they put.
Do they have to publish their numbers? I mean, unless they
will if they want sponsors.
No, but they will only show what looks good.
Right. So if you go on YouTube, then you can see the live stream. You see how many concurrent watchers there are. And when you had over 130,000 people watching the Open at Rich Froening's fucking gym and him ripping off for American shorts, it's hard to combat that and say, hey, look, we're the next big thing. It just is, right? And so I think that was a strategic play for them to be able to limit that confusion or whatever it is.
And then maybe the next one gets on YouTube because they think that the numbers are
dude, I disagree. The reason, only reason I disagree, not with that was their thought process, not with that, but that it was a mistake, was that as good as the stream was, as good as the competition was, like YouTube would have clouded it with positive comments. Their following would have exploded much, much more than it.
Or like the page,
their Instagram. Like just the amount of people talking about World Fitness Project would be way more.
I mean, I truly believe it was a miss, but I think it was calculated. And I don't think it was just them trying to be.
If the competition wasn't good, I wouldn't feel that way.
Right.
I feel like I would argue though that the majority of more intense CrossFit enthusiasts that consume content via YouTube are more to the side of anti-WFP CrossFit.
You don't have to fucking be PC about it. Just say it, Nelson. Most of them are anti-WFP, or they were prior to the weekend.
Yeah, well, but I'm saying anti-WFP or like somewhere in that middle of like they don't like it, but they're obviously interested because they like seeing all these people compete. And I do not think that the comments would have been, especially like for that workout with the jerks. Like I think,
well, you can also turn comments off. You don't have to have live comment. You can.
No, dude, I think it would. I think they'd get called a hater. I understand what you're saying, Nelson. It'd be like it gives the people who don't like it just an opportunity to be, this sucks. But I think everybody can agree the competition was a good competition.
Yeah.
And like if freaking Hiller is posting on Instagram, WFP, you ran a really good competition. You can only be so much of a hater before people are like, dude, it's great.
Yeah.
What is your problem?
Yeah.
Like, they're lifting in the dark. You've said it 9 times.
Yeah.
Right.
It's great.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think it would be more of that.
Yeah.
Than flooded with negative comments because people already don't like it.
So I agree. I didn't like that. I didn't like not being able to pause. But what it did do was
not being able to rewind was ridiculous. Like,
but what did it do though? It fucking made me have my computer on the entire fucking day. And so average watch time was probably tenfold.
And I'm sure they'll publish that and show that to people.
For sure.
But
and so
I still think it was a huge miss, dude.
I agree. For sure. I agree. It should have been on YouTube 100%. Okay, what else? I thought the flow was good. I love the athletes. Like, I mean, all the things are great, right? And for everything from what I've heard from behind the scenes, the athlete treatment was amazing. And this is leading into our next thing. You know, like they had all the on-screen graphics, right? The athletes saying their intro, which I thought was really cool. Some athletes need to be taught how to like say their name with some enthusiasm. I'm still pretty confident that Tola says his last name wrong.
Tola Moraquinho.
Yeah, that's what I think it is. I think he says it wrong actively. And
Moraquinho.
It sounds like someone from South
Moraquinho nuts.
And so they had a lot of stuff. It looked really good. Now, is this all a fantasy? Is it
too good to be true?
And
they're losing so much money.
100% too good to be true. Just assume. So we're coming back. The chat was flowing about this, or talking about this earlier, about the money and how much money they're pouring into it. And if you think that this event went on and was put on under a few $1 million, then you're insane.
No, I think it was like $8 million.
Yeah. This event cost almost as much as the CrossFit Games to run, assuming the CrossFit Games doesn't have 600 athletes competing. If you whittled it down to the 40 or whatever, 60, etc., they paid for travel, they paid for lodging, they paid for foods, they had lockers. Those Lettermans were probably a few $100 a pop, just alone, right? Their lockers were filled with their own personal stuff. Just travel.
I mean, I feel like they just tried to knock off Rogue.
And so, but Rogue doesn't need an event to be profitable.
No. And Rogue uses it to sponsor their stuff. They're
right,
like,
exactly.
Hey, like, how they did it. I'm saying they're spending
exactly.
what a multi-million-dollar company spends on their stuff.
It's got to be $1 billion company now. But yes, I agree. They took all the good stuff. They took all the things they really liked, and they took things that, you know, they saw from other places, and sponsors are only going to cover so much, right? Especially if the views aren't there, right? Like, so this is where the amount of people watching the stream is very important. With an event costing $8 million, we'll just assume it's 5 million, and that's probably arbitrary in general. If there's not 1 million people watching, then the sponsors didn't get their money back, because there were only a couple thousand people there.
Right.
In total.
Yeah.
That's including athletes. So including athletes competing, which were about 400 or so, not even that. And then the other people there. And so, and Avera said it, fans and seats do not cover any pro league. Right. They'll never cover a pro league. So the only way that this becomes not a fantasy is a massive sponsorship, huge TV deal, Netflix deal, like something that CrossFit doesn't have.
Dude, Netflix would be legit.
so like something has to come in that's going to give the money, because it's not going to be fans in the seats. Even if it was in Europe and they sold out every crowd, there's no way, or unless they charged $1,000 a ticket.
No, right. even then, they're eating
so much.
They're
money.
eating $7 million, like just eating.
And so we know they have this nest egg. Okay.
But they're doing it 4 times a year too. So now think about this:
right.
$28 million.
So this nest egg, it's probably not 7 million, but it's up there for sure. And the nest egg is going to run out. And so how do they make this not like a 1-year thing or even a 2-year thing or whatever. I don't know. I have no idea where it comes from, but someone has to be coming in with a lot of money, and it's not Adidas as the shoe sponsor. Like they're not going to be another Reebok. They're not going to give, the Reebok deal was hundreds of millions of dollars. Okay. Like it was fucking insane, right? Like it was different. Those deals are not going to come into the sport anymore. Right. Unless, I don't know. It just isn't.
Or like, you know, promotion on TV or something comes with
I mean,
it.
they're going to have to get on like actual like TV, not just,
Yeah.
you know, like CBS Sports for 2 hours on a Sunday.
You know what they needed? They just need to put me on Pat McAfee and just let me convince the world.
On the mountain.
Yeah. I mean, y'all think you do Murph? I'm gonna show you what Murph is. Okay, we're not gonna do one squat that's over parallel, and we'll see what you feel like. All right, Mark Zuckerberg, and make sure we invite him because his were trash. Get Elon on the team.
And then it just turns into
John. I promise you, I have like I am nothing, right? I'm nothing, right? If I was on Joe Rogan, I would have done more for CrossFit than what Matt Fraser did for CrossFit. I will say that 100%.
You can take that
100%. Like, listen, Joe, I don't care if you don't like it or not. I don't care who you are. First off, and then we'll go off from there.
That would have started well.
So let's have a bench max, Joe, and I know Joe would think he would win. And then we'll go carry off from there. Then we'll go run a 5K.
So
then you'll go in an octagon and
let's be easy.
John just pissed himself. Avera says pay-per-view. It doesn't matter. It's irrelevant. Everyone's going to steal. So there was Wadapalooza used to do this.
Yeah, with Flowcast.
Right, Avera. I don't know how long you've been in the CrossFit space. But this doesn't work. People don't like to watch fitness this much. And this is why I find it very hard to think that any of these Fortune 500 companies, right? I don't know if they're Fortune, these huge sports companies that are going to sponsor Rogue, Adidas, Concept 2, etc., Flow Elite, right? Exactly. They know that shit went under. That didn't go very well for them. Because people don't like to watch fitness that much, right? They just don't, right? We've proven this over the years. Okay, like there's fucking.
It's a step under cycling.
Right. There's
people
YouTube
don't watch
channels,
cycling for any
guys. There's YouTube channels of fucking 5-year-olds that open boxes that get 25 million views in a week, and there's never been a 12 million view CrossFit video ever, like in total, like ever. So there's not enough people interested in fitness for the. One, for pay-per-view, for sure, for that to ever make money, right? That's not a thing, ever.
We'd have to get violent for pay-per-view.
What?
I said we would have to get violent.
Yeah.
For pay-per-view.
Event one would have to for sure be a fight.
Just a grappling match, yeah.
Right. And so with that, it rolls back into like who's going to sponsor it and give enough money that's going to pay for a $30 million season. Right. They're spending more. So the payouts were whatever it was, right? That was probably like 2% of what the weekend cost were the payouts.
Yeah. What do you think the biggest expense is then? Is it the production of like the live stream? Or I guess maybe just the renting of the venue?
No, that's not. The renting of the venue is not. I mean, it's a lot, but it's not that much because it's only for a week.
I would say the broadcast.
Yeah, the broadcast.
Because there's trucks, multiple people,
cameras, like that stuff. All that stuff's really expensive,
right? Yeah. I mean, they put up for all the travel, lodging for 60 athletes. Oh, do we know if the non-signed athletes got the same treatment that the signed athletes?
No, they don't get anything.
They didn't get anything. Okay, so it's just the 20 and 20.
Yeah, it's just the pro people.
Well, they were in the pro. They just weren't the signed pros.
No, no. If you're the pro, I think you get it.
So even the 10 that qualify, they get the same treatment.
You get the same treatment, but you don't. Obviously, you're not getting $30,000.
Right.
Colton drove.
That's right.
Also not crazy far for him, is it?
No, Iowa to Indiana. It's like maybe 5 hours.
Yeah.
I don't know. So. Is it sustainable?
No, but
can't. At this point, it's a definite no, right?
Yeah.
Has to be.
Yeah.
Has to be.
I
No.
mean, assuming we don't like if if we had to estimate or guess what the streaming numbers are, and we're assuming they're not great.
I mean, I don't think they're bad. They're probably not what they need to be for it to be.
You're telling me though, if they streamed on YouTube and then for like every hour they just did an advertisement for WFP clothing, they wouldn't have sold a ton of clothes.
Probably because they got a good logo.
They do, and I mean their production's good, and like everything is the competition's great. Like I just think their YouTube would have exploded, and then you just run ads for your clothes, dude.
Yeah. I wonder how much they got paid. They got to get paid something. Flow them out there, right?
5.
I mean, across the fucking world.
5K
for the weekend.
Yeah.
I mean, and so there was 6 of them, 8 of them. It's 40 grand right there.
I don't know that.
Yeah, but I mean, it's probably.
By the way, but I think that's probably. I would if I were to guess, it'd be around that.
Do we think you need to spend money? You for sure, and no one's questioning that. This has to happen for it to have the opportunity, right? But this isn't fucking Chat GPT where the future is inevitable and the use and the totality and the overtaking of this is going to happen, right? CrossFit has shown that people don't really fucking like to watch fitness, right? Like the masses. We do. That's why we're talking about it. And a huge cult following inside of this sport does too. But the outside world doesn't, right? And as far as making it to a huge thing like any type of structured team sport, I just don't think that's the case. And that's not a problem. That's okay. But because that's the case, in my opinion, there's no way WFP can sustain this kind of burn rate. So what you're saying is CrossFit as a sport, it has a future. It just has a future that's not turning fucking Justin Medeiros into LeBron James.
And I think spending money like we're trying to do that.
Correct. And I just don't think that
do for the masses though is like, and this is something I know CJ's talked about repetitively, is like do exactly what like Top Swing and all these other like Netflix type do. Full Swing. Top Serve, is that the tennis one? There's either way, but like just the idea of like putting a personality to the athlete.
No, it's not.
It's not. That's a different show on a different network that John's watching. But yeah, no, I mean, I just think the idea of like putting like, like for example, like back in like 2021 or 2022 or whatever, like I got COVID. I was out for like 10 days. I sat like on my couch and just watched stuff and like turned on like the Formula One thing. And for like a good year after that, I definitely don't really follow Formula One that much anymore. I was hooked on it just because like the production value of the show was crazy. And like,
you knew the guys.
Yeah, you knew the guys. And like, honestly, I've never been a racing thing. Like to me, I think it's, like all you're doing is going to the left real fast. Sometimes like with F1, you go, in other directions. But like, yeah, like you put like a narrative behind it, especially because like I'm coming off of the season when there was like all the stuff between like Lewis and Max at the end of the season or at the last race. And it's like all this stuff where it's like, holy shit, this is so intense. And like, that's all that we need for it. And we had that with the documentaries and all the media stuff. So like, I think that like, that is the most important thing to get back to. And if WFP can do that, I don't know. That's well, I mean, if you average both of those together, that's about how old I am. So there you go.
Oh God!
No, you're completely right though, and I mean, like cycling's done the same thing. They have the same like show where like people might not be into the Tour de France, but you get into it for one like Netflix binge, and you might watch 2 more stages of the race in July that you would not have watched before.
And then you walk into a CrossFit gym because it's accessible and you can do it, and then there you go.
Sure, it is, and so I think.
Because that's what happened when CrossFit was on ESPN.
Yeah, exactly. For sure. It is. Hey, by the way, we have to pause and watch this.
Oh, dude, it's great. Have you seen it?
So fucking good.
Games are the ultimate test of fitness. It is a proving grounds for anybody in the world who thinks that they are one of the fittest people.
So excited.
My goal for the 2025 CrossFit Games is to stand on top of the podium. I mean, there's no other option for me. And that's how I see it, and that's how I've seen it for a long time.
Going into the 2025 CrossFit Games, the expectation I put on myself is to win. So, like, winning is in my nature. It's in my DNA.
If you're going to do something, you have to go all in. You have to take it all the way. It makes me feel so alive to care so much about something.
I think this is the first time that I could truly say that I feel free in pursuing a goal, pursuing a sport, because that's what my heart wants.
They are doing everything you can imagine: long, medium, short, heavy, fast, to see who stands on top of the world as the fittest human in the world.
I think that I have a great chance of winning the games this year. Just feels like it's been building and culminating. I think it's just inevitable. I think I will win the 2025 CrossFit Games.
Okay.
Yeah, and like they need to be promoting this 10 times more than what I think that they are probably doing.
Well, it just came out. Nelson.
It just came out not even a day ago.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, so how about you chill the F out, Nelson?
Okay, I didn't know.
They're doing what they can, Nelson.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. Like that is exactly what we need.
But the fact that Nelson didn't know that this was already happening makes me sad. Did you not know before I just showed it?
No, I hadn't.
You've never seen it before, dude. I had goosebumps when I first saw it.
Yeah.
I'm like, the bad part about WFP is that they're trying to do this, and they have an agenda, or at least if they don't, it sure looks like it.
Yeah, no, they do.
And everything CrossFit is doing right now is in the right direction. Everything.
Mm-hmm.
Like the people don't see it. And I know we only have 71 people listening. It's not like a Savon show. No offense, CJ. But everything that CrossFit is doing is headed in the right direction. Like we're like the media it's what it used to be. It's just, you just have to let it ride. Like I understand, like we had a really, really low. It's all headed everybody's right. We are all headed towards the golden days again. It's all going to be like that from here on out.
I agree.
You just have to, and WFP is trying to do this in spite of that happening. And it's just like not the right time. Like if they want to take over, if that's the agenda, you know what I mean? If it's just to be another thing and be successful, then I think I would try to change the dates of WFP. I think if WFP had their series late August to late January, everybody would love it. There would be no anti-WFP people.
I don't know if we've talked about this yet, or if this has been talked about on like any of the shows, but like what needs to happen is like you keep the open. That's where CrossFit makes the most money. It's like always been a thing, but like CrossFit buys out, absorbs, does whatever with WFP, and then like
they don't have the money for that, man.
Sure, maybe not, but either way, like
they can't even sell it.
Like, yeah, though that's fair. That's a good point. But like, and I know I'm pretty sure like Mayhem's talked about this on their podcast too. It's like there's no reason why there can't be like straight up like farm system from the open to the games that uses like all of these different competitions that we have now. Like there just shouldn't be any more quarterfinals, any more semifinals. Like it should be your open and then like sectional level, like fittest of the coast, crash, like, and then like that then takes you to like probably crash will be at that level, and then like syndicate, NorCal, and then from there you could even make another one. And like CrossFit can make all this money off of licensing. They don't have to do anything with the programming unless they want to. And I'm sure all of these competitions would be more than happy to like let that grow for themselves and then also be a stepping stone in for the games. Like, I don't know why this hasn't been like presented to like CrossFit as an opportunity.
I think they try to do that with sanctionals.
I know, but even so, like you can like build it up further than that, right? Like I think that we can all say, like, for those who had been around like the old school like regionals format, like how tight knit that was, and like obviously it made zero money. But like the idea of like making that like the initial stage and then a stage after that, and then like just building it up, and like you'll still get the fittest people.
Yeah,
Like
I understand what you're saying, and that's like where like the traditional like regional, like going back to sectionals. And so there's probably only a couple people in here that have even been in CrossFit that long, like 2010 and 11, right? 9, 10, 11.
Yeah.
And so the problem with that is
all
local competitions have to make some money. That's why people put time and effort into it. And so it can't just be stepping stones with no money. Right. And so,
no, I mean, but yeah, I like, for the people that are not necessarily understanding what I'm saying, like think of like baseball, like you have what, 3 or 4 like minor league teams affiliated with like your professional baseball team, and you just step up through there. I mean, soccer is another great way to put it. Like you have like the bottom tier, like, so you do the open, you get your level, and your level lets you compete in these competitions. Like you place in these competitions, that lets you go to the next stage of competition.
I understand what you're saying. I understand what you're saying. I don't know where that came from. I feel like that just kind of came from my field. Were we talking about?
I don't know. I mean, like,
yeah, I'm with you, Jay. It kind of, you kind of just started talking.
Like,
well, I wanted to talk.
It felt like you wanted to say that for like the last hour, and you finally like, this is my moment.
Like 4, 5, 6 weeks.
Hannah and John are on the same boat here, and so kind of pulling it out of the season. So this kind of rolls into my last point. Like, is WFP good for CrossFit?
How it currently is, I would say no.
Not good. Yeah, no.
But it's because it's because of them. It's not because I know, and they think like we're, the locker room is boycotting WFP. It's not that at all. They are doing it. And y'all might not like understand it, but they are doing it. And like, I don't think they have to. I don't think they have to.
Yeah. So I don't know. I just have this.
Do you agree with me, CJ?
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, it seems like there's something. There's like a deeper thing. There's something happening.
People do not understand this right now.
All right, I'll let you answer this, and I'll come back to what I was saying. Go ahead.
Answer say it. It should be in relation, right?
So, I think there's something happening behind the scenes that's probably not very good for the sport of CrossFit with WFP. And they have a lot of money, and it just there's just like something just has me really uneasy. But I want WFP to work, but I want it to support the world of CrossFit.
Like, what's making you uneasy?
The sketchiness. Them saying we're not competing with CrossFit, and then they put their schedule
no,
the
sure.
exact times CrossFit.
Yeah.
Them refusing to say CrossFit. Them hiring every single person that's anti-CrossFit.
Yeah.
Nelson, them saying Laura Horvath and Patrick Vellner are your poster child for WFP, but when they're trying to recruit everybody, saying this is way better than freaking CrossFit. How are you not uneasy? They don't want CrossFit to be a thing, Nelson.
Right, but I'm saying, what's making you uneasy in the fact that, like, do you see that gaining traction to the point where that's like very damaging for CrossFit, or is this like, a flash?
I think it's already watered down the games.
Yeah,
I think people are already choosing which ones to go to.
Right.
Vellner's out, Laura Horvath's out, Emma Tall is out, Elisa Fuliano's out. Elisa Fuliano just won French Throwdown, and she's not doing it, right? Emma Tall regrets not doing it. All of the European women aren't doing it, and now the women's field is like, nobody knows who's good.
But is this WFP though? Like, I mean, like, if you take away WFP and like the athletes that aren't competing, just aren't competing. Like,
they are competing. They're just unhappy. And it was WFP too. Laura Horvath sucked, right? Like, it waters them down too. It waters down both of the sports, and I agree with that. I just think they have forced sides.
Yeah.
And now, like, I would say anti-WFP people are facilitating the athletes making that choice because they're like, why can't you just love WFP? It's good for us, right? I get the athletes want to do it because $30,000 that are free to them, right? They're just competing, right? But Alex Kazan might not go to the games. Say she goes to NorCal, she's only doing NorCal, right? She just beat every single good girl in the world other than Tia, but Tia's not doing it. And she could sprain her ankle in NorCal and not be able to do the rest of the event. Now she's not going to the games because she chose WFP over in affiliate semifinals or TFX, and NorCal was the one she picked. Now it's her fault. It's her fault.
Yeah.
But they are forcing that choice. And then it makes people anti-WFP when you say you're not trying to be in the way of CrossFit. You're nothing but in the way of CrossFit. And then your competition is great. It's not that the competition's bad. It's just everything you do is bad, but your competition is great. Like, there is a way to make this happy, but it starts with them changing everything that they've done that's not the competition.
Oh, yeah. So, I'm definitely not saying that they need to be transparent about all their things that they're doing.
Oh, they are transparent. They've started affiliates, dude.
I know, sure, but like transparent in their messaging, I guess then. But like, because they've been pretty transparent, or their messaging is like, well, we're not trying to step on the toes of CrossFit. Like we're
but you don't think they are?
No, I 100% think that they are, and I think that they're not being transparent about their messaging.
And so I think at the time that we are in is this sort of crucial make or break for CrossFit. I think that someone coming in and throwing in a lot of money is inherently probably not ideal with the way that they're doing it. And it just seems that it's going back to what I was saying, like it feels like there's like an ulterior motive. Like a coup d'etat sort of like takeover.
Actually just like garnering and rallying the people who were going to boycott the game anyway and present competition.
So
I think that's pretty much the minority at this point, no?
I mean, I don't know. You would know better than me. I mean, you would know better than I would.
I mean, maybe, but
all right, John, let's go back to Barry's. I wanted to why?
For everything I just said.
Yeah.
like so they WFP has forced sides. Whether the public can see that or not, they have. Whether the athletes can see that or not, and some of them can, some of them don't, they have. And the people who are for CrossFit, who want CrossFit to survive, who want CrossFit to thrive, who know that everything HQ is doing is right now when it always wasn't right. The media team for like the last 5 years have been terrible. And I'm telling you now, the right people are in place. Yeah. So like if you are pro CrossFit Games and you understand that CrossFit Games is the Super Bowl of fitness, everything should revolve. Everybody's season that does CrossFit should revolve around when is the games, right? Like it should start like, when is the games? We don't want to be where they are. Or how do you qualify for the games? It's not saying you can't be successful. If Rogue came out with their competition and they were like, hey, we're going to go at August 5th. When's your competition in August 4th? Okay, that's when we're going to go. We'll pay about the same amount of money. We'll see what athletes go. That's what you're freaking doing. But it's in the semifinal season, right? Because it's spread out like it is. But that's what you're doing.
It was it was such a shitty thing. Like I feel like it would have been better off like doing it in the middle of TFX. Since half the year, you know what I mean? Like they chose French Throwdown. I was like, hey, most of
them did, and European people are for them, right?
It was a weird one,
and like I want it to succeed. I think people, and I don't know if all of us want it to succeed. I'm not going to speak for. I'm not going to speak for people, but I think there is a world where it can be great because the competition was great, and I love great competition. I want to see the fittest in the world compete more too, but the not burden of proof, but like burden of like betrayal, I guess, is on them to fix that. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
The affiliate thing is kind of like the last foot.
That's a whole separate thing, though.
But
Yeah,
it's not though. It's not separate. Though.
I
That's
know
the,
it's
that's
not,
the thing.
like in the
But
context.
this is the thing. This is what makes me.
Yeah,
Like,
that's fair. I will
and
concede
so
that.
like,
That definitely is
and so
easy.
I hope it's just them being like, shit, we need to make a little money. I would actually be the most excited for that. And that's all it is, right?
Yeah.
Not them trying to completely do the same thing. Now, we do know for sure that it is impossible for a sport to grow an affiliation, basically doing the exact opposite direction that CrossFit did. It is literally going to be impossible because there's nothing that they can give the affiliates at all, unless they're going to give them money. Right. And so that would be the only thing. Like, there was an initial list of all the things that they got. And so it didn't make any sense. And then Saxon just did a terrible job on Coffee Pot. I like Saxon, but he didn't say fucking any. Dude, his word salad was so bad. And it was like, it was terrible. It didn't say anything. I didn't learn anything. I was even more.
And these are the
more
people that are
confused.
in charge of it.
Right. And so we also have to remember, and this is what I've said about most CrossFit gyms in the entire CrossFit space for years. Not that I'm a business person by any means, but CrossFit gym owners are just CrossFitters that decided to open a gym. 99% of them are not businessmen that were like, hey, this is going to make me a fuckload of money. Let me do this.
And
right?
it doesn't make money.
It doesn't. And the three guys heading up this competition in WFP, what's his name? Jackson, right? In Saxon. And I know obviously there's more and they have other people, but
it sounds like a boy band.
It for sure does, right? You guys know that reel that like they're in the garage, they come on. It's like, hey,
yeah.
I'm lit.
And
Anyways,
Oliver is the one that wants to be should get punched in the face the most.
And exactly.
Go look at the comments. It's so funny. Everybody hates Oliver.
And that's funny. And so the only reason they have this nest egg is just a proxy of just like being around someone that has a lot of money. Like, isn't it Jackson's girlfriend's family? Right. And not saying that they didn't put a wife.
I don't know. I don't know at all.
It is. That's like the Gillettes are just in the CrossFit space. Pretty sure that's like their son-in-law or he dates their daughter. And that was like, that's where it came from. Like, that's the connection. And so the money's going to go away. It's there, but it's just, I don't know. It's weird. It makes me feel uneasy outside of like just wanting to put on a great competition. So,
it'd be like Nelson. It'd be like this. If do you have a girlfriend?
I wasn't disagreeing for some.
No. I know. But
easy.
Hey, do you have a girlfriend or a wife?
I do not.
Okay. Imagine you had a wife. Okay. Are you there?
Very imaginary one. Yes.
All right. Okay. And I was like, hey man, is it cool if I stay with y'all for like a few months?
Okay, hold on though. Can we not though? Because if this is gonna be another,
I promise I won't sleep with your wife. I promise.
Okay.
I promise I'm not going to.
That metaphor, I could not hop on the train with, like in that whatever.
It's the same It's the same thing.
I understand.
And then you're like, oh, okay, like I guess that's okay. And then you just see me being flirty with her all the time.
Oh yeah. And
then like maybe you catch us out to lunch. Oh, we're just eating, Nelson. It's nothing to be worried about. And then I just walk around half naked all the time. Like when are you going to have a problem with this?
Yeah, no. That's very fair. I'm getting.
This is getting better.
It's past my bedtime anyway, but
now,
yeah.
And you tell me, do you feel uneasy now?
Still, honestly, I mean, like
I'm walking half naked around your wife 24/7.
Gray
sweatpants. Feel uneasy
because all of these athletes outside of the like few, and I mean, what's the number? Like 10 or 15 outside of the top like 50 athletes that like aren't competing at the games. People are still going to be going to the games. Like, I think that WFP is something that I think it's more of like after this year, let's even see if it's still really a thing. And then B, what does the actual season look like with a full year ahead of time of knowing what everything's going to be? Like, I think that like in the initial situation, it's a really good competition where like these athletes can compete. I still don't think it's going to like drive down that much like games tickets. The stuff with the affiliate, yeah, like I'm hoping that that's more of where CJ's at, where it's just like them making money, because it's also, what are they doing? Like, they're not helping them grow their business. They're not, I feel like if there's anything that would make it uneasy, it's they can show real proof of that they're doing something that all these CrossFit affiliates who are choosing to de-affiliate because CrossFit doesn't doing anything except provide a name, which also isn't really true. Like they be giving them some tools to like help optimize their business, but they're not. Like they're
Right.
not doing anything.
Yeah.
So
and
like,
so I agree. And so that's it, right? Craig, word salad. Why do I feel the needs? Because it's clear that, and so the question was, is WFP good for CrossFit? And the answer is, it certainly can be, but at this rate, it's not, right? It's not. And it's a competition, and sure, competition, drives like, growth, et cetera, et cetera. But I don't know. This isn't, like, unfortunately, CrossFit's not in a real big time to like go into competition with anybody. Like, that's not good for this world, right? In the CrossFit ecosystem. So say WFP perseveres and that's the season. I think that's a shorter lifespan than the lifespan of CrossFit.
Yeah. I mean, if anything, if we're making a metaphor, the easiest metaphor to make, and I think we all know this, is just the whole like live golf to like PGA Tour situation. Like, how long did that last? Like, they absorbed.
It's still going on.
Yes, but like, and obviously, like I said, like CrossFit can't buy WFP at this point. But like, I don't think it's something that, like, well, that's what you had mentioned, right?
No. Well, I don't. The analogy would be more like, can WFP buy CrossFit? Because the live is worth. I mean, it's not worth more, but
live is literally buying the PGA Tour.
Right. They
yes, but it's not currently called the Live Tour though. Like, it's
no, but
do you know
but
they
they
offered
could
Tiger
buy
$1 billion?
I did know that. That's
they said we will give you $1 billion, and he said no.
Well, he's also worth almost.
I think you make enough. Like, guys, I'm good, man. I mean, I appreciate it, but like, I got everything I wanted.
Yeah, I mean, like, I think that it's way too early to be like, well, this is the demise of CrossFit because of WF.
No, I certainly don't think so.
And that's not what I'm saying either.
Yeah, I don't think so. I just don't. The direction that it's going, it is in design to like attack, right? Like, it's not in a like let's grow the world mode, right? Like, it's like let's overtake and control mode. In general.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
Yeah.
And so, is this a thing? Is this what it's called? I have no idea. I didn't know this was an actual thing. Does this happen in other sports? Liv is doing that so people forget what Saudi Arabia does. It's called sport washing.
It's I feel like it's one of those double-edged things. I mean, it's the same thing with like the Saudi like soccer league, or like Saudi football league, like same kind of thing. They just throw like insane amounts of money at players to come play, and then people forget about like human rights violations and stuff.
I'm uneasy that World Fitness Project will buy CrossFit headquarters. No, I'm uneasy that WFP wants to completely replace the CrossFit season. And
if it was just WFP, I think it would be worse. Like way worse. Way worse.
Oh yeah, for sure.
In terms of like if there's no open kind of thing.
There's no CrossFit Games. It's just the WFP. Yeah, there's no CrossFit Open.
Yeah, I think if there's no CrossFit Open, that's bad.
If there's no Open, then it's
the
destruction of CrossFit.
I've said this since forever, and I get blasted every time I say it. If the
I've
Open
never
goes
blasted you, CJ.
You haven't. If the Open goes away, it will be the direct demise of like the world of CrossFit. And I was like, the affiliates will still live. And I'm like, they will live under a different name.
Yeah.
They won't be CrossFit.
And they'll get soft. They'll become F45.
I say this all the time.
Well, we will I mean, I thought we were past it now that we're in 2025. And Donald Trump is president again. But
2 opens is supposed to be. No way. 7. No, not a chance.
No, if we did away with the open, the CrossFit would go through their trans state and they'd become
Oh my
F45.
God. Stop. All right. So if there was no open.
You don't think so?
Yeah, I do. But
Nothing I said was wrong there.
We're just not going to use that analogy on this show. So if the open goes away,
I remember CrossFit back in its Bruce days. Now we're trending towards Caitlin.
That's funny. All right, that's fair. If we think about it like this, if the open was never here, no one would fucking have wanted to learn double unders. Like that shit wouldn't even be a thing. You know what I mean? But it just so happened to be like the first fucking movement ever in a CrossFit open. Right. And so no one would want to learn muscle ups. Because why? Why would you fucking
no one would want to lift heavy if it wasn't for the games.
So anyways, yeah. Yeah.
I think what's another, and this is like maybe a different topic, but like I think it's an interesting conversation for like within this next year, let's just say CrossFit gets bought, CrossFit cleans house, like CrossFit publicly makes a lot of like open statements about the
concessions,
whatever it is, and you get all these athletes that then come back. Does WFP even like stand a chance at that point? I mean, obviously, like people aren't going to not do WFP because of that, but does that play a significant role in that?
They're still getting an automatic $30,000.
Yeah, exactly. So the WFP stays around if the money is there.
As long as the money's there, they stay, no matter what.
100%. Yeah. And so Clean's House is like they fire Dave. Basically, they fire Dave, they fire Jenna. I mean, if whoever buys CrossFit, which is for sure going to
should not fire Jenna, man.
And if they fired the current media team, like what's working right now,
we're in trouble.
That would be bad.
Well, yeah, unless they replace them with everybody who's on the media team in 2018. Not saying that the people that are doing it right now do a bad job, but
I mean, if they wanna hire the locker room to be the media team, I'm not opposed to that.
John's like, please pay me more so I can do podcasts.
If the mountain ends up on ESPN, I would not be opposed to that, is all I'm saying.
Little trademark next to it every time.
So this is an interesting thing. In the first rendition of this affiliate thing, I swear I saw people talk like a line that talked about giving away profits, right? Am I imagining that?
No, I don't think I ever.
I don't remember that.
Like
from my understanding, it's like a community thing, like basically like an event that they organize with all the other WFP gyms. And then I think it's more of like a think tank of like, hey, like you're one of the first 50 gyms. Like
that's what it sounds like to me. Yeah, but I mean, then it's just like a cool mastermind, right?
Yeah.
But he said it's a Facebook group. Let's just be clear. There's plenty of massive affiliate Facebook groups out there. There we go. See, this CrossFit knows. They did say this. They said profit sharing at some point, but there has to be profits to make that.
If it's a Facebook group, I'm not afraid of it.
Right.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
They're too old. Nobody uses Facebook.
So, anyways, all right. Herbalife. He used to sell. What was the other one he sold?
Advocare.
Hey, dude, I used to fuck
Advocare.
Advocare.
That's when he did Isabel was Advocare days. Mm-hmm. It was an Advocare thing. Heavy Isabel was.
That's right. All right, guys. An hour 4 is like the longest show I've done in forever. I have programming to do. I got to work tonight.
Yeah, I apparently have the ACT in the morning, so.
That was funny. That's right. I hope you do well. What's a good score on the ACT? Like a 30?
I got a 34 on my ACT.
Oh,
wow!
I knew I hired you for something.
There you go.
All right, guys. Thank you much. As Kenneth said, Bennett is waking up, so it's time to go. Oh man, I can't do it. It doesn't work on my computer.
Whoa!
You know what this show wasn't? It wasn't a rainy day. Come on.
Nope. Too quick. Too quick.
Come on, rain.
Take it away and put it back. Oh, there it goes.
There it goes. The rain always takes a long time.
It's got to really feel it out.
My favorite one is this one because the fireworks.
We got to figure out how to turn it on. I like
I
how
don't
you
know.
stole a wet out.
Last time we did this, CJ thought his whole account was getting hacked and had to shut everything down. So now
Oh,
we're
dude,
jumping-
it was so funny, dude. It was so funny. Or no, I think I kept like doing that. I kept like removing him.
No, you were like commenting as
He was in the
me, or
chat,
like you were pulling up comments.
Oh, I was.
Yes.
Oh, that's what I was doing. That's what I was doing. Yeah.
CJ's like, I've been compromised. I have to go to the bunker.
I wish I could like do things to his thing. Like if I could make balloons come out of CJ's, you know what I mean? Or like
I don't know
make
why
my
it doesn't
little
work on
things
mine.
come out of his.
Anyways, all right, guys. Adios. Good night.
Good night.